Hello everyone, this is Fantastic Worlds. I'll get back to Lovecraft Country and Cultist Simulator Tips and Tricks, Part 3, getting the band back together. Now, okay, so in Part 1, we managed to make ourselves the peak of mundane perfection for a human being at level 3 on each type of skills. We have Steely Physique, level 3 Health, level 3 Passion, and level 3 Scholarship. Now, we will be upgrading these to 4 because it's now possible to do so with lore. And speaking of which, Part 2, hitting the books, we sucked dry Oriflamme's Auction House and More Than Shop of every book and read it. And this is if you don't engage in doing explorations earlier, is as far as you can get without tipping off the Suppression Bureau that you might be doing something skanky. Level 6, 2 of them for Moth, level 6 on Heart, level 6 Grail, level 6 and level 4 Forge, level 6 Lantern, level 4 and level 2 Edge, level 6 and level 4 Winter, and of course level 2 Knock. Knock is actually the easiest and hardest to do. It's kind of unique like that. I'll show you in a bit. And we've been deep diving into the manse to pick up secret lore. We managed to get 5 each of level 2 and level 4 and a level 6. Now, at this moment in time, we need to get companions. As you notice, at least 3 of our rites require companions. The 4th one, which I got as well, the last book in between episodes, does not require it. Oops, don't have that clear yet. But it requires instruments, in other words, magical tools, which we also do not have. You cannot pick them up from the auction house, unfortunately. Yeah, we're going to have to do overtime at Mr. Alden's assistance, son of a bitch. And now it is time to study for the notes on a possible collaborator. I have find a potential collaborator. I have a name, description, a few tantalizing detail, but there are 1,000 faces in the city. So, this is the note the old man gave us of a possible collaborator in our efforts to continue the research into the mystical. I'm going to pop into the white door to see what we can get, and for the moment, we're going to keep the exploration to a minimum. Edit. Yeah, I know, not terribly that. I'm going to put it into fast forward, so at least we're not doing terrible. Now, we have unlocked the 5th cylinder, if I put it. We've been running on 3, then 4 cylinders, and now I have all 5 cylinders of the verbs, so to speak, of what we can do. Work, dream, study, travel, explore/travel, and of course, talk. An acquaintance. I await an answer to a letter. Now, we have also generated Mystique. Now, this is the first thing that goes wrong. Mystique is reputation. Reputation gets the Suppression Bureau on our asses. From this point onward, since we've begun to talk about mystical lore, the Suppression Bureau is going to be tracking us down, or attempting to do so. And how efficiently they are at this depends on how you play the game. Now, I have 2 ways of dealing with the police. We're going to be doing the we're not going to be doing either one of them right now because I'm going to inevitably bring up the Suppression Bureau. It is not possible to get Mystique rid of while you're putting your cult together because every single cultist you get generates a new Mystique. Now, Mystique is not lethal. It will summon the attention, and once you have the attention of a hunter, they will use it to track you down, but they cannot produce evidence. For evidence, they require notoriety. That, or notoriety-like things like a body. That will come later. In the meantime, yeah, get our paycheck, go back to smashing rocks. We don't really have anything to study at the moment, though. Okay, so we've got Mystique. We're waiting the answer to the letter. Unpause. Now, the cultist you get is going to be one of the named ones, but it will not be... It's any predictable. It's random. I'm gonna Orchard of Lights do this. Ooh, got a glimmering. It's okay. I recall my dream. There was a lodge of the blue silk flapping in the winds of the bounds of the Mansus edge, and there was this mistress, who is actually a character in this game, who welcomed me. She welcomed all travelers. Company is nice, she confided, but I still miss my Christopher. 10 years and not enough, but we could not have been long together, not without touching each other. You know what occurs between a man long and lies with a woman, long woman? Or perhaps you don't. I hope you don't. I won't tell you just in case. I will give you a tiny gift. Glivering. Basically, she gives us a little bit of passion energy. You do realize, by the way, one aspect of passion is making love, and she's pining over a man she can't have. So maybe Randolph got lucky. That's what that means. In any case, that's actually part of the back meta story, and we have not quite gotten that unlocked yet. Okay, so let's see who shows up. A reply to your letter is courteous if cautious. They're intrigued in how you found their name. Intrigued enough to meet you. Oop, I told you to pause, damn it. Oh my god, I thought it wouldn't be one of the nameless ones. I seriously thought it wouldn't be, but apparently that is an option. Take a nap. Go to work. Like, you know, the rest of the poor schlubs in the city. Which is London, by the way. Okay, so I have a hanger-on. A useful and malleable, they'll probably never amount to much. You might be able to recruit this acquaintance as a follower. Now, here is where things get interesting. You must pick what type of cult you want to have. And it all depends on what lore you decide to concentrate your efforts on. Now, each one has their benefits. Whatever lore you pick to become the cult, what happens is that those particular cultists that resonate to that mystical energy can max out to level 10. Only those ones. It doesn't matter how much energy you pump into the others. Only 2 to 3 of your cultists will be able to max out their powers, which makes them exceptionally powerful, able to get a lot of tasks done just by themselves and without assistance, and more powerful than most spirits. But you got to pick. Now, of course, what I call the usual version, back to basics, you simply pick whatever lore you're currently studying at the moment. It's power, which means forge. But if you were... oh, hang on. If you were so inclined, by the way, you can change this, and I'll show that to you a couple of times, simultaneously while generating new people. Glimmering allegation, etc. Now, you can just pick one piece of lore, put it into talk, and speak of esoteric matters. Talking publicly about the invisible arts will attract attention, both good and bad. Perhaps that's what I want. Let's see who we can find to talk about the secret histories. Maybe chat online for 1927. We're chatting by telegram, I guess. Do we have telegrams? Yeah, we have telegrams. All right. And all the health is back. So let's talk about changing what you want it to be. If I dedicate myself to my purpose or focus my purposes elsewhere. If you put forge in here while you have the forge or any other things, you will lock yourself into the forge path. But while you'll have temptation, it is theoretically possible to change what you want to do with your mystical life. You know, there's just so many dilettantes. Oh, there's the damn dread. Can't really, you know, unfortunately, spend a lot of time hanging around. Anyways, so yeah. Oh, cool. We'll do this. Now, notice I'm not spending any money, so it's starting to accumulate again. We'll need it. Always need more money. Nothing else. Alright, an acquaintance. I found somebody who may be a kindred spirit, but we'll need to win them over. Winning them over requires passion. So you have to have a passion card open, which I do. Because remember, part 1 I told you need as many of these cards as you can get. And boom, there we go. No, I've decided to remain as I am. Sometimes if you do this, you can change your path. Like if I could change it to Lantern, or I could change it to Grail, ironically, by putting in the red card, not the Grail card. Never get that. But it looks like they're locking me onto Passion, and to Forge, and I'm okay with that. Now, here's the thing. Forge is one of the ones that probably gives you the best bonuses for your companions, because you have 3 Forge companions getting to level 10 as such, and they can each generate you money. Yes, money and small mystical items, especially if they're level 10. But also, it is one of the ones harder to get influence for. You need at least to get to the Stag Gate to be able to regularly get a level 6 influence, but we'll get to that in a bit. Right now, let's continue our escapades. Alright. Back to that again. Take a nap. Go to work. Alright, so we don't have Dread running, which is, I mean, with the Dread Trap running anymore, which is good. Okay, so who do we recruit this time? Alright, Passion back from that back. We didn't get drain the Passion. 2 Mystique, and we've got one of my favorite, Violet. An acquaintance. Violet has all been unstinting over time, easing the pain of the dying. Now that should tell you whose resonance, what's resonance she'll have right off the bat. Winter. Death. She is a hospice worker in 1927. She may be more than that, if we make her such. But we've got Dread running at the moment, and much less I can do about that now. So the question is, do we want to start the cult now, or just keep collecting people? Let's just keep collecting people for the moment. Boom. Let's talk about some stuff. Now, I have an alternate system, by the way. Like I said, the most basic... there we go. The cops have noticed us. And boom, welcome to our new friend, the Weary Detective. He will be here shortly to look very sternly at us for practicing the invisible arts. You want your goddamn overtime? I am so half tempted just to start accessing my occult so I can get something to do with him. Forget Renata, that's just it. We're doing it. There we are. The weary detective. He will be our friend forever until we do something about him. This gentleman would rather be left alone in his pipe and illustrated London news, but knows apparently some conjurer of abominations has to be hunted down like a mad dog, and apparently nobody else can find the time. Mortal. And a hunter. Laws of civilization are younger than the laws of the hours, but they too require a sacrifice. This one is an agent of the law. Yep, the law is you're not supposed to be using dark forces beyond human comprehension because, you know, eldritch abominations roaming the street just really aren't good for the tax base of the wealthy who pay these guys. So, but at the same time, they're also, there we go, a patron. We can learn from each other. This is a different type of companion. It's one, instead of working for you, is willing to work with you. And as a result, is willing to pay. They become a major asset towards the mid and late game. Alright, so while we're here, I've got nothing better to do with my time. Okay, oh, probably should hit the white door while we're here. Take the money and run. Okay, so, yep, back to work. Yeah, not the most exciting part here, guys. What I might do is skip ahead, but I want to make sure I got a patron first. Oh boy, this one. This is the odd patron out. Saluchana Amavarasi. I'm sure I pronounced that horribly. She's a patron. She's a scholar of Sanskrit. She can teach it to us, and she's a tutor, which means she can teach us Sanskrit, should we not have already known it, which we already got from a book. But unlike other patrons, her abilities are kind of unique, and we'll go over that when we get to her, but I want to get a conventional patron. In the meantime, she's essential for the Dancer DLC, or the Dancer Path, which is an alternate path you could choose, but she's also the owner of a certain club we haven't encountered yet. I should probably get on that. Search the city, would you? Alright. Yeah, health's a little maxed out at this point. I don't want to hire anybody. We'll deal with a hireling. Hirelings are mercenaries you can purchase. They have advantages and disadvantages, but this early in the game, the only thing I could possibly do is try to kill my boss. Alright, let's see what happens. Just to see how it goes. Put that here, take that there. Alright, so yeah. Boom! Back into the underworld again. Icy atmosphere. Level 6 icy atmosphere. Yeah, this can get you into trouble because winter always decays into dread. See the Orchard of Lights has to say, the pulsing airs. A rising power, reassuring energy, 6-order influence, significant resources or correspondence can be used in some rites to summon minions. There you go. I'll just see what it says, by the way. The hours have been called unmerciful, but they permit sleepers sometimes to walk in the Orchard of Lights, where each fruit glows like sunset, where the roots of the trees are shaped like peaceful rest, where the mist soothes the heart. I was there last night. It's like the Eleusinian Fields in Greece, and where the blessed dead go, and the taste of the fruit lingers, sharp and sweet as the passage. Alright, and it gave us the pulsing airs. Now, pulsing airs also decays into an influence, but that influence is actually vitality, so you don't really care that much. I mean, it's actually, at some points, I'll actually summon these so I don't have to do the exercises for the vitality. Okay, but the thing is, one of the things I wanted to show you, by the way, is that you can actually join influences together for certain things. It's not possible right now because I don't have a heck of them, and that includes all of them, including things like contentment and fleeting remembrance. Anything that says influence can be jammed in here, and it can even tell you what is combined with down here, for example. It's looking for a level 2 trembling airs, which is essentially what this decays into. Or, you know, consciousness of radiance, level 2 light, level 2 winter, and level 2 forge. They can all be accelerated and made it more powerful by the use of contentment. You see, one of the things is you have to learn about these little tricks to get you in and out of things. Influences become hugely important, not only for rites, but for being able to summon the right influences when you need them and take care of an issue. In any case, now that we've got that done, let's see, get that over with. All right. No overtime today, you bastard. I still might end up killing you anyways, so let's just get to it, shall we? Give me the hireling. Oops. This was open. I should have been looking for people. My apologies on that. I'm getting distracted. Alright, so a shifty woman, level 3 moth. It's not great, by the way. Hiring use of expeditions can help with hunters and annoyances. I don't think she can do anything about him, so it's kind of a waste of money. The only possible thing I can do is if I wanted to, I could try to do something with the sunset rite. She's got 3 moth, I need grail and knock. The problem is I don't have grail, knock. Don't have any of those, unfortunately. So she's kind of useless. Waste of money, but kind of hoping to get a professional hitman, which is one of the options you can get, or a bomb maker. That's always fun. Take a nap. My health's a little low. Okay, so dread again. Oh, the endless dread of just the angst of living in such a broken universe. Alright. Again, if this gets really bad, I will skip ahead. See, back to work, because this is still the grind level, as it were. You're simply trying Trembling Airs. Health. Trembling Airs will eventually decay into Vitality, which means at this point I usually stick it here. And screw it. Okay, so back into the underworld. You know, that lore is just not... That lore and the power is just not going to get itself. Alright, so we've been talking a bit, and we found another acquaintance. Now, since you want to do something a little more here than interesting, what I'm probably going to do is just start the cult with that. And like I said, Forge is the most logical one to do. Work overtime. Because it will become in handy, especially if we do the new game plus, called the Apostle game. Sticate, Defiant, and Furtive Truth. Alright, so entering the door. Many of the dead enter the madness through the white door. They wander through its corridors in silence until they are lost. Some embrace each other, some devour each other, some force their way into the dreams of the living. A few record their memories on the mana stone where it is soft. They scratch it with their nails, you see. Last night I read one of those memories. Alright, so we now have another Field of Truth, which you have 6, which means I'm probably going to start combining them at this point. I don't think you need more than 5, really, at any particular one level. So, you know, while we're here, let's get an erudition going. So we can combine those two. We saw that, taught you how to do that last time. But anyways, let's get another acquaintance down. As well as take a nap, because you must be well rested to deal with the uncanny force of the universe. Valeria, she is a forge. Okay. She's a forge potential. She operated her establishment for almost 20 years and never employed an assistant. Her hands are terribly strong. Okay, so let's make her our first cultist. Well, the first strategy I'm going to be going over is back to basics. If this series actually turns out to be popular anyways, I may do some of my alternate strategies, which includes the Mothman Cometh, which instead of using the one that you're currently advancing on, which is Forge here, you use Moth. Now, the reason I'm doing so? Multiple reasons, but Chaos has so many applications in this game, and its followers can keep you from getting to jail practically constantly. You could do whatever you want to, break any law, and they can take care of the evidence. But we'll be going to be doing back to basics first, which means that we want to start a cult. A new beginning. Together, we might become more. Found a mystical organization. Here is someone I might work with, a companion or a follower. Or first, I must give them something to follow, a society, a solidarity, an order, a cult. All right, let's get the mystical, batshit crazy stuff started. I mean, we've had enough of watching me do this job constantly. I've had enough of watching me do this job constantly. It's time for the dark, spooky stuff. All right, so now we have notoriety. I have begun my true work. The authorities will take an interest in me if I must be ready for them. You have begun to establish your cult and you a little more before you can recruit others. All right, so what we need here is to choose our founding principle, which we are choosing Forge. You don't need to have their top Forge, the unflinching order, an occult society dedicated to the fire that changes and remakes. All right, hit it. We're doing spooky stuff. Ugh. Oh yeah, we're screwed. Cops are already on us. Yeah, there goes the first mystique. Dealing with evidence soon. All right, so boom, a sacrifice of pain. Powers we serve require pain I must give of myself. So I have to put a health in here to basically burn my body in order to sacrifice that. This should be the first clue, by the way. The powers you're working with are not terribly beneficial. They're at best indifferent and at worst malevolent. By human standards. By their standards, we're indifferent insects. Erudition, Word of Truth, joined together. Alright, so yeah, there's our evidence. First roll of First thing of evidence is right off the bat. Well, at least we get to teach you how it works. Oh my god. I screwed up here. I'm going to have to get my job back. This is the worst day ever. You found a mystical cult and everything just goes nuts. Dude. Everything's just terrible. Alright. Beg for the job back. My first recruit. Alright. Valeria, you are my first recruit. You shall be my first among many. You shall be the bearer of my will. Alright, our rise begins. I founded my cult. This is a step to greater power. Use your cult to recruit and promote followers. Talk to followers of your cult to send them out to cult business. And that's very important. One of the things that almost always gets overlooked. Now, the unflinching order. Okay, we have Valeria. She's a believer. These are the people waiting in line. An occult society dedicated to fire that changes and remakes. You can use cults with talk verb to recruit and promote followers, send them out to the errands or gather resources. A believer can be promoted to a disciple. A few disciples can be vaulted higher to reshapers. Society and Veneration Forge. Okay, you go back. You notice we have a spare vitality being created, but what's this other card? Temporary headquarters. Our private. This is a private. We could use some more secret. Yeah, we're using my back room at the moment. So we want a location and, of course, headquarters. Remember how we said the location headquarters had certain aspects that could help us? Now, the thing is, majority of the time, most of the potential ones are areas that will clean out in the city later when we start doing expeditions in the road trip part of the scenario. But the thing is, one of the reasons I emptied Moorlands is that it's a location. So you can literally put... No, we're not exploring that. You can literally... No. You can literally take one of these locations. There we go. And we can change our premises. Now, I normally was going to do this when we had the notoriety up, but unfortunately the game got ahead of me on that one. Might have been better to be a little quicker about that to prevent it from happening. And by the way, we burned ourselves, so there's that too. So, we change premises, so it'll take out the mystique at least, and we want to cure that vitality. It's just exactly the same way you do an illness. Alright, so got our job back. Probably should work it. Oh yeah, an angle for the damn promotion, so we can work for Mr. Alden again, because we love doing that, don't we? Alright. Challenge, knowledge. Change your premises. Yep. Come on, you're supposed to be taking this. Only works in notoriety. Keep that in mind. I thought it might lose the... okay, we've got the vitality back, and you should have our evidence. Yep, 10 of evidence. Now we got a problem. See, the hunters found evidence, real or imagined, of my sins. Sins that cult activities become more dangerous. Evidence that survives the death of the hunter that created. So even if I kill him, the evidence is still out there. There's ways to get rid of it, but we do not have access to those ways as of yet. We will shortly. In the meantime... we should probably consider recruiting our minions. Here's the, well, faceless minion. Let's invite him to the Dark Forces and do it that way. Oh, and that graphic. I do like that graphic. Got this sort of Western mysticism stick going. We have the rooms behind a bookshop. We have purchased Miss Moreland's bookstore for very little, apparently. The lesser elements in Miss Moreland's stock yet remain. Over time, strangers drift into the books to sell, and sometimes we indulge them. Now, what's important about this is Aspect Library. One half of all the challenges in this game can be beaten by the library, and if you have the right combination of these skills, which I'll show you in a bit, you can literally get everything except the practical one of going. Of course, it's location and headquarters. So now, yes, we have currently purchased Miss Moreland's books, and people keep bringing us books, and we're kind of happy with that. Now, there are other benefits to other headquarters, like secrecy, which will sometimes grab a reputation, or creating an influence, or being able to... a sanctuary, which replaces glimmering for one of the challenges, but this is the one I like. And I'll show you how this works in a bit. Now, what's going to happen here is I'm going to start advancing these skills to match this to create the perfect combination. Now, for example, right now, any knowledge skill I can no longer need erudition for. But if I have a knowledge skill plus another one the library can work for, I'll need the erudition in the library. I'll demonstrate that as we go. In the meantime... alright. Let's talk about... alright. Oh, you suck. Just gonna do this quickly. Not diving in. Alright, we now have a pawn. Loyal but lacks initiative. It has a 1 edge energy, so which means it's basically a guy who punches people occasionally. Militia, of course, has a level 2. Now, one of the things about this is that in order to advance from a believer to a disciple, by the way, you require a total of 8 forge. But if you have a forge companion, their forge counts 2. There it is, 2 forge, if you can see it there. So if you take 2 plus 6, you get 8. Promote a believer by invoking forge. My follower kneels a novice and rise an initiate. I will administer the necessary oaths myself. Boom. So she now will be a disciple, which we have our level 5 skill. If we get her to 21 forge, counting her own 5, that will come up. So it's a total of 5 plus 16. In other types of power, she will become extraordinarily powerful. Now, oh my god, you have the despair trap going at the same time as this thing? I gotta get drunk. Gotta get drunk quickly. You, just go. Party. I need you to party. Quickly. Close this thing before it reopens. Right. Okay, where are we? Oh, right. So, couple things that are happening. We're going to keep her going. At the same time, we're going to advance our reason first. Now, I kept these essay collections because they each give us an erudition lesson learned. Now, I need 4, however, if you remember, to do this, and I only have 3 of these books. I could have bought a 4th, but I didn't have the money at the time. So we're going to have to do this the old-fashioned way and just combine 2 erudition. Again, it'll take some time. In the meantime, there we go. Got drunk, got rid of despair. Oh, get back here. Took some money. Oh, Alden. We're going to have words. And Valeria is now... I'm not a machine. We are reasonably confident that because she was observed now and then to commit some human errors. The more forge you become, by the way, the more mechanical and precise you have. Student, help meet, defender, champion, dupe, sacrifice, companion. All right, she can also be advanced further. And she's a disciple, true initiate of the mistress. So she's our number 1 companion at the moment. In the meantime, we'll continue promoting the others, including Violet. Okay, and boom, go. If we ever get level 8, we can get everybody else up to. But right now we only have level 6, which means we do need more lore, which means I have to go out looking for it. Now notice the tentative evidence isn't going anywhere at the moment, because it's going to be here a while. But you'll notice that I will keep myself easily busy by continuing to do this. Alright, so Violet. Violet likes to paint. She has a gift, although she's always been very modest about it. She never puts human figures in her painting. There are enough people in the world. Winter 2. Yeah, she's a euthanagist. And there are some serious bad problems about that. Okay, so grab the occult scrap. Usually just go with that one since there's so many of them. Alright, erudition. Put reason back in because we want to get a lesson learned. Alright, where are we going now? Yeah, I keep saying it to myself all the time. The mystique is burned off, so the good detective has nothing to go with on this point. Oh, and while we're bored, we might as well just visit the underworld, because that's what I do when I'm bored. Dead people. They're always so entertaining to be around. Okay. Another companion. Alright, so let's get the vitality going again. Yep, alright. Erudition. Combine these for lesson learned. You see, it's why I had the essay books. I could have gotten the 4th book, but I don't like to get below 3 funds at any point. That was a period I don't think you guys were here, and I've got to get drunk again. Okay. Restlessness. Yeah, I need more despair. Ooh, favor from authority. We've already gone over this one, but hopefully I will never need it. Alright, I need to get drunk. Okay. Again, the grind. Okay, so let's see who we summoned this time. Gonna try to get to a patron before I jump ahead. Ah, another freaking pawn. Alright, in order to get to a patron, we're gonna have to keep burning. I will initiate these people out of range. Off screen. Out of range. What am I talking about? Alright, Dushin, Levin learned. Okay, now grab the books. Get all these done before it decays. Sorry, just so much going on simultaneously. The other game you're going to love or hate, depending on how OCD you are. Alright, What do we need? Alright, so... Excellent. Back to my second job. Alright, so... and we're going to have a patron, which means that we can finally skip ahead on this one for you people. Alright, hang on. There's the second one. Of course, if I get this done before that point... okay. Do I need to be in the underworld? Probably not. Yep, the cops are looking again. And there goes that. Yep, you're going to find my mystique. You're not going to find much else. This point in the game, you really don't want notoriety because you don't have the methods to deal with it quite yet. Okay, back to work. I'm staying out of the dream realm right now because there's not a lot I need from there. I mean, it's fun to do and the picture's nice, but it's kind of like, ooh, Poppy. Oh my god, why am I getting all the unusual ones first? Alright, Poppy. Of the 5 mentors, Poppy is unique in the beginning. My dear, I've been wanting to talk... Well, hang on. Let's not make this hard for us. My dear, I've been wanting to talk to you. Sometimes I fund scholars of the visible arts. I'd like to offer you support and a substantial contribution, and all you need to do someday is to introduce me to someone who will end matters properly. She smiles benignly, and passion to accept or reason to interrogate further. We're not stupid. What? Someone who will end things properly? In 60 seconds, we'll get the answer to our reply. In the meantime... Alright, there. Thank you for cleaning the mystique up. I didn't need it at the moment. And the last one. Money well spent, apparently. Alright, so evidence just keeps burning away. It's not really as dangerous as you have, as long as you don't do anything stupid. The cops just forget about you after a while. Because they're more interested in, you know, suppressing the poor than they are sorcerers at the moment. Ugh. Endless dread. Alright. This is what she has to say, by the way. Yes, when the season of rags comes around again, my sponsor requires someone for an ending. You can provide someone sufficiently loyal, you can provide yourself, as you prefer. I don't want any trouble. Yes, what she's offering, by the way, for her patronage, she is requesting that we provide a human sacrifice. And don't you know it, I got somebody here that just doesn't seem to be standing out in the crowd. I'm sure I can trump up some charges and send him in after all. Yeah, it's going to be like the briefest career of a cultist ever. Okay, so you were going to use the pawn to do so. Yes, this is my first venial crime, as it were. Okay, passion to accept. Alright, that's exactly right. I'll come back tonight. There we go. We have now sealed a deal with an eldritch, with a necromancer to that. Now, I know she's a necromancer because she's burning off winter energy. A peculiar chill is for the room, a second order influence. Now, this will decay into dread, which has the usual problems, mind you, unless we find a way to burn it off. Now, rites are a way to burn it off, but I don't have the capacity to do that right now. I don't have enough of disciples here in order to be able to produce a spell to burn it off, so, or a rite or a ritual, however you want to look at it. We're going to suffer this a bit. What we're going to do is we're going to get stinking drunk again. Let's see, 44 seconds. All right, so yeah, by the way, this is an influence with a huge amount of energy. If you can actually, there is a couple of ways you can use this to make your life easier. But at the moment, it's a problem. So let's just anticipate getting drunk, shall we? Oh god, I just sacrificed one of my loyal people for my own advancement, so I guess we're either celebrating or we're getting so plastered we can't understand what we just done. Alright, so studying. Now, first things first, let's put in the 4 erudition lesson learns that we need. You notice the essays made that a lot faster. It would have taken at least 5 to 10 minutes otherwise. So at this point, we have to decide, what do we want to do with it? Now, there's 2 ways to advance your reason. One is to take the brighter illumination, the footsteps of the watchman. That gets you the skill, level 4 skill. There's 2 of them for each type. The level 2 skill, level 4 skill of it's refined scholarship, which helps you with things like illumination. But the problem is we've already got the library. We don't need this, and in fact, you don't want it. What you want is winter. A deeper concentration. I should listen to the voice of Madrigal. This provides a grim mind, which is good for, of course, grim challenges, which will occur with the knife and grail, I think, a couple of the higher ones. In any case, Now that you have the library for the illumination ones, you can use this for the grim ones, and that takes care of 2/3. And when we get to the passion level 4 skill, I'll explain how you get 5/6 of the challenges done that way without having to burn anything. But now, for now, let us focus the power of death and become an adept to its thoughts. Death's really becoming a theme here at the moment. Should have made a winter cult, maybe? Don't know. I've done that before. It's kind of fun, but you can get really screwed with the amount of dread that you produce. Alright. Plus, winter cultists are kind of creepy and useful in some ways, but in some ways they're absolutely useless. It's also the fact they give up their own freaking names, which is terrifying. Alright, so... hopefully... okay, even more goddamn dread. God, you're sinking me here. Alright, dread plus contentment. We're gonna get plastered like you don't even want to believe. Alright. Oh, why did I... here we go. Now. Ooh, we're not going to make it in time. Alright. Here we go. Poppy. Tiny packet of tiny treasures. A gift from Poppy. She'll see me again in the season of rags for me to make the introduction, I promise. Passion's back. 10 funds. And a silver satinia, which is the undercurrency of the magical community. Initiates of the hidden world use spinta for pay for services. They can easily be sold for more traditional funds. Silver spintas are more valuable and usually display scenes of debauchery on the reverse side. Must be the Grail people producing this. Can be sold for additional funds. It's an ingredient. It has a spinta value of 8, which is how much it is. 6 Grail, which means I can use it as an ingredient in any of my rituals, which I could do, but it's really pricey. When you can just get a 6 influence of Grail. And auctionable. I can sell it for tier 4, and it has the aspect of a single secret history. But that's all we want. Now, what's going to happen is we have a timer here. When that timer hits red, it means I need to provide a sacrifice or myself. Obviously, if I provide myself, the game ends, so we're not going to be doing that. But let's see what else we can do. He's looking through the evidence, but he's found nothing. Skill. Silent intensity. A chilly stillness is a sign of certainty. Reason and skill can be advanced no further. Notice we also gained additional reason. So we're at 5 cards for reason, which is in the sprint, the highest you can go. Plus we have this, which will give us the ability to do that. Now we move into passion. Oh boy, am I actually going to be doing this straight through? Because this could take a bit. First of all, we need to continue growing their companionship. So we'll be doing that. We'll have dread like you won't believe in a moment. But can we get rid of this with vitality? We can't do that. We need illumination or thrilling air or a level 2 winter one, which really only delays the inevitable. So we're still kind of screwed there. Okay, so we need to... oh god, we missed it. You know, the cult arts are just shit on your work schedule. Alright, so, not to mention, we do have 19 funds now, but it disappears faster than you can believe. Alright, so, let us continue towards getting passion to level 4. Yeah, we'll get to health eventually, but it's the least useful at the moment. Before health will get you almost through the entire game. Sometimes through the entire game. He finds no additional evidence, only has 84 seconds left on it. Yeah, this is when things start getting crazy. I am now essentially balancing, as you would, 5 different tasks. 2 dread. Alright, got rid of this. Now we gotta do it again. I'm gonna blow 1/3 of what Poppy gave me just on debauchery. Oh, the life of an occultist. Come on, come on, come on. Now there is an additional way to generate contentment. Let's hope we can find it. Alright, we've got glimmering. We need to get glimmering level 2. Oh god, another dread coming up. This is insane. And a glimmering. Well, that made my getting a glimmering useless. Okay, which one's... always pick the one that's going to be out longer, by the way. The other one might decay on you. Yes, we are seriously getting drunk. Ah! Why do you hate me, game? Wait, this game hates everyone. Alright, the Eustatus Club. Cabaret with an occult expression. 1 moth influence. 1 heart, 1 grail, and it's a location. You know what we're doing? I told you we're getting drunk, and now we're getting drunk in company. The entrance to the lost beneath the soft drapes of crimson cinnabar and encounter there. And above the door is the mottos in gri rum imsum nocti dex. I don't know what the hell that means. It has been rendered into night circle we fly and the fire enjoys us. It's moth based. In tonight's performance, Amethyst, a net-wielding hunter, pursues a veiled winged woman through the murmuring of maze of red-clad dancers. Each movement is underwater slow. Anyways, this is us essentially. The club, by the way, is owned by Solutia, as I mentioned before, and it is really, the more you peer into this history of that particular establishment, the darker it gets. At the moment, right now we're in the audience, but like I say, in the DLC Dancer one, or if we change over to the Dancer Path, which I'm not going to be doing, you can be the dancer on the stage and doing your own path of enlightenment, if you want to call it enlightenment. Ugh, gods. Oh my god, look at the cards just raining in at this point. Alright, so, oh my god, we got the lights go down, very gradually the performance ends. There is no applause. We drift into a street alone with our deep dreams. Now the club closes for 30 seconds after you use it, so you can't spam it, but notice I have a contentment, which will last long enough for me to be able to use it here, so I don't have to get drunk. It's essentially, I got a promotion? Oh shit, I didn't pull it out. He's gone. I completely missed that. Oh no, wait, he's still, no wait, it's a promotion back to working for Alden again, so it's not exactly a lot of fun. Oh my god, I hate you all. Alright, so, now, but here's the kicker. I can use either contentment or fascination to get rid of dread, and there's that glimmering that I kind of need, but already we're starting to get, so everything's just kind of nuts at the moment. Okay, so, by the way, like I said before, oh, hi, Enid, you're gonna make my life living better. Enid speaks softly and centers her gaze isn't focused on anything visible. That she dreamed that you, maybe that you and she have dreamed the same dreams. I need you so badly, and I don't mean in that way, but for God's sakes, join me in the dark side. Yeah, looks like we're going to be doing more of this than I thought this time. Alright, so take the glimmering that you've gotten, get the next one. Alright, so, as per usual, we can use one dread and one contentment in order to be able to clear my mind. Or, which is more fun, take a fascination and a dread. You can use both of your bad cards to cancel each other out. Which I kind of like, by the way. In the meantime, I've still got this one running, and plus the mystique from finding Enid. Enid, oh my god, you're going to save my life here. Enid is, when you have the sunset right, Enid and her partner are extraordinarily useful. You missed that mystique, dude. More dread. Oh gods. Shaping chant. Boom. Enid. 2 knock. Remember I said knock was the one that you acquired for summoning? Once you have Enid and the sunset right, you have the ability to basically burn any influence you want, as long as you have a level 6 of the appropriate lore. She speaks softly, your gaze is focused on the invisible. She sees things that others don't. She can see between worlds, essentially. Now, while that's going on, we're going to keep looking for additional people. Oh, gods, get rid of you some point soon. All right, Dread. Dread's still running. I don't know what we're going to do about it right now. I might just see if it burns itself off. May or may not. At this point, I've only got 1 Dread. I'll just wait and see what happens. All right, so we've done that. We're low on vitality, so it's time to do this job. Yeah, really. All right, so we've got that going. Now we read poetry. We get the level 4 skill. And I will show you how it makes your life a hell of a lot easier. Oh my god, look at these things coming up. Now, let's get this done, and then I'll start our first spell. You'll like it. You really will. One of the ways you can get rid of dread and fascination, which is extraordinarily important in the Apostle one, as you lose at one point the capacity to dream your bad memories away. So, let's voluntarily lose this job. We can just beg to get it back. We've got 17, and Poppy's still waiting for a sacrifice, so we're safe there. All right, sunset right. You remember, rites require 3 elements. In this case, hey, get the hell back there, dude. In this case, it requires an invocation, an assistant, and an offering. The offering is an influence. Remember that dread is an influence. Right there, half mask. So therefore, it's usable. There, you now have 2 knife. Summon something. Edge is the aspect of battle. If I add knock, I might be able to attempt a summoning. Add lantern or moth, I could enact a battle in my own mind. What we want to do is, of course, we've got 2. Now we have 2 knock. 2 knock, 2 dread, 2 knife, and 6 of the appropriate lore will get you the appropriate spirit. Walking Thunderskin is a spirit of earth. Now, Grail does not work. You require something else for it. Forge does not work. Lantern does. A hint is once a living mortal and then a dead one, and now it's something else. Their summoning requires lantern for the light which streams the manus, and the edge for the striving they've endured. Okay. And the last one you can try to summon is this, but you don't have enough yet. Notice it's still grayed out. A creature of the sun ranks a death spirit. You require 8 for that. Now, there's 2 ways to run this. One, of course, is to go with the lantern and or the heart. Now, the thing is, remember, each spirit, this you have to learn, is going to decay into the influence that's appropriate to. Now, the problem being is that a lantern influence will decay into fascination, which 3 fascination, you're dead. But a Thunderskin will actually, the Pargsugant, merciless and merry, heart will bring an edge, will constrain it. Remember, heart edge is the ability to contain things. So we have now, that will become a vitality. So through a very convoluted way, we can convert dread into vitality by summoning an ancient spirit, which is what we're going to have Enid do for us. Meantime, take a nap. You always need to self-care while you're doing the wheeling with dark forces. Okay, so what do we got? All right. Yeah, we lost our job again. I don't really care at this point. All right, so let's get the glimmering burned down. Ah. Okay, deep breaths, deep breaths. Get the health back. Well, let's dip in. Do you want to dip into the underworld? No, we've got enough problematic influences. I'll show you what you can do with these in a bit, too. Alright, so we have, in fact, gained Sylvia. Sylvia lost Dry in the woods when she was 9 years old. Every year at Candlemas, she returns to the place we're buried at, so we can recruit her, and we probably should. Like I said, since I don't honestly know if you're all there still watching or not, we're 45 minutes in. I actually planned on skipping some of this, but it's all happened simultaneously, and I'm kind of going, wow. But anyways, we're going to run with this. We're going to see where we're going, and like ahead, let's see how many more of these we can actually get before I kill this episode. Because usually past 45 minutes is when I start having issues of processing and uploading at this particular size. But in the meantime, let's recruit Ms. Sylvia. Okay. There we go. Turned red. Friendly visit from Poppy. This is the time, my dear. The Sun and Rags requires his conclusion. Will it be you, or do you have a friend? Ha! Bob, I need you to go with this woman. Don't ask the reason why. What a loyal friend you have. Do say goodbye. Yep. Bob has just been sacrificed to my dark ambitions. All right. I was kind of hoping this would happen. Now, with the sole exception of one entity, all spirits hate to be summoned, and they will fight you. Now, when they do try to fight you, you get this particular message. A summoning is struggling and under control. I could use reason to dismiss it safely, which is always reliable. I could try to reassert control of passion, which is not reliable. 90% success rate, I think. Or I could let it happen. You don't want to do that. You don't want spirits running amok in the universe, because you'll probably get in trouble. Or one of your followers could get killed, or you could lose a card. It's really never ever worth trying to do the passion one. Screw it. All I wanted out of this was to convert a dread into a thundering air and then into a vitality. That's what I'm doing. Pronounce the words of dismissal. Seal the circuit tight. Erase every trace. All right. Doesn't want to chill? Doesn't want to chill. We can deal with that. All right. 3 of 4 completed. Let's get that 4th one done. And then we can get to something a little more interesting. All right, Sylvia. Detailed knowledge of roof ridges of the river at low tide, Irish whiskey, and conjuring tricks. She's also a moth, 2 aspect, which can be used for other things. Now, one of the things she can be used is removing evidence, but she's not powerful enough to do that now. We'll get her there eventually. All right, keep summoning more people. Affliction and vitality, you know the drill. And contentment. All right, so notice I've got the trembling airs because I dismissed the spirit it left behind trembling airs. That will eventually become vitality. It's a secondary way of getting this. Now, here's where we decide what we want to do with our lives. Do we want to deal with Mr. Alden? If we want to deal with Mr. Alden, the best way of doing that is as such. Sunset Rite. Fleeting Remembrance, which you're going to be drowning in this game, is a 2 influence moth, as well as 2 secret history, but that's not going to be useful in this scenario. Enid, of course, gives you access to knock for summoning, and if you attach a 6-point grail, which you have at this time, you can get a bewildering creature of the red grail. The raw profit source and a little moth for its chaos addiction. Now, these things are kind of okay to have around. Their primary use is during expeditions, which we'll get to in the next section, or stealing evidence. Because if you steal evidence with one of your companions, like Sylvia, who can do it with Moth, then you have a chance of getting them wounded. And This one has the, you can do so, and if it gets killed, you don't really care. Okay, I've always wondered if you could put a summoning creature in here, but I don't have time to do so. I might have tried it with the Thunder Skin. Alright, tell me what I've done wrong. A suitable conclusion. My follower is gone. I remain. Poppy Lassies is here and there, and she may have more to say to me. Hello, Poppy. Poppy is now our patron. We also have a chilly atmosphere which will turn to a dread if we're not quick enough to do something about it. What does a patron do? Well, I will show you. As soon as I get my talk back. Come on, come on, come on. Boom. An acquaintance. Alright, go ahead, you do that. I'll take care of this. Alright, so now we have... Whoops, so it's the wrong one anyways. Advancing or level 4 passion. Now, the question is, you can do this 2 different ways. 1. Okay, where are we? No, that doesn't work. Chaos. There we go. Unreason. Cut my hair, cut my books, cut my snip, snip, snip. Now this will produce a level 4 one called Knock No, which works with paradox challenges. Problem is, guess what also works with the paradox? Yep, I told you that half the challenges would be produced by the library. It's worth losing other options than that. But what you really want... Oh, what I wanted is Grail. Oh god, Grail's in operation right now. Oh, let Grail come back quickly, please. Let the summoning work. In the meantime... Alright. Let's align luminosities. Where the miseries cross, let the shadows pass. I can use contentment to turn this chilly atmosphere into something else. Oh, your health's back. Oh, gods, no. We got another goddamn botch summoning. Alright, but at least in a little time we'll get the back and we'll do something. That's an icy atmosphere. It's not actually wanted. Damn it. Ugh. Trembling airs. Okay, subvert that. Will that work? Huh. Problem is, I think I need at least a level... Do I need at least a level? Subvert winter influence. See how you can just play with this? Even in the snow and the silence, the white is without colors, life will never cease. This will create a heart influence instead of a winter. It's called subversion, which is one of the aspects of this. Alright, come on. And moment of consequence, and boom. Look at what we got. Rounding airs, a level 10 influence. See, this is kind of how you win the game, is controlling the influences and what you can do with them. I prevented the dread from doing so, and even if I don't use this level 10 influence, I get to that. I was going to call this putting the band back together, but oh my god, winning friends and influencing friends and influence is going to have to be part of the title, just for all of this, because influences are like the little silver bullet of the game. Anyways, let's get the pat. Alright, we've got Grail back. Okay. Plus, of course, the awareness of appetite, level 2, that. This one decays into nothing, so you're safe. So we failed 2 summonings already. Oh my god, that's terrible. Anyways, so we still have this, though, which is what I want to do. Okay, the one you want, Folly. Who desires an axe knot is breeds pestilence. Alright, so let's exercise that and get our level 4 one of Open Soul. In the meantime, we probably should do something about our bank account. It's starting to get a little low. Breathe in, breathe out. And the thing is, I could probably get another Puskint out of that thing. Oh, another would-be pawn. Okay, so we've already replaced the guy that we've sacrificed. I mean, the thing is, you have a limited number of followers you can retrieve. The problem being is that once they're gone, they're gone. But you have 8 possible pawns. So now we're down to 7 possible pawns, which is perfectly fine from my point of view. Go to work because we hate ourselves and our lives. Okay. Come on, come on, come on. Pulsing airs it down to 6, and boom. An additional passion and an open soul. Open soul. Behold, I will stand at thy door and knock. If you hear any voice, I will open the door, and they will come to me, and I sup with them, and they with me. By the way, that's from the Bible and Jesus. Level 4. Now, I will do this one as well, probably off screen, because it is not important for advancement. But now I have access to every single challenge that can possibly be used. And I will, my last act, I will prove it. I will need an erudition to do this. No, wait, is it an erudition? I don't think it's an erudition. I think we can actually do this straight up if we have a glimmering and the library. So, first things first, access the glimmering. Do the sentimental literature. And we'll let these decay. And you can't use Mystique for your spells, which I find very... why? Why do you hurt me like this? Alright, this game, it just does hurt you. Whoops, and I forgot to point out what Poppy does. Get a commission from Poppy Lascelles. I am, Poppy says the girlish giggle, curious about the arts of blood and ice. It's silly without an old woman her whims. Will you help me? Sure, you can pay me to do so. You've got money. I've got cult knowledge you want. Promotion again, working for Mr. Alden, who we hate. Alright. Next, I may show you what you can do with him next time. Alright, the commission. Commission for Knock, very substantial. Poppy will pay for information of interest. This time she'll like a very substantial research on the corporeal mysteries of Knock. Oh, Knock is the hardest one to advance. Yes, so what we need is a level 6 lore, and we need to work on this to produce it, and she will give us another silver sphinta in return. But we're not in the ability to do that. We only have level 2 Knock. I can access more Knock myself, which is by burning other lore. I'll go into that when we get to the option, but I don't have it right now, unfortunately. Put your passion back. Okay, what were we doing? Yeah, sentimental literature. Okay. Trembling airs will become a vitality. Alright, so we have the glimmering, so let's put, now remember, this one, we need illumination and intuition. The glimmering will be the intuition part, and the library will give us the illumination part. So we can get our level 8 moth going. Like I said, this will be the last thing I do. First, grab another companion. Yeah, it all adds up over time, don't it? Okay, so boom. Affliction, cure it with the last gasp of this vitality. Don't get a fascination trap. Okay, so. Okay, into the night. You got, yeah, so we have 5 reason and 5 passion now, but I still feel like you're taking too much of my time, man. Alright, so, yeah, I'll put the silver sphinta here. Organization, so you can look at your cards and see what the heck you're doing. Intuition, glimmerings up, go. Another companion as opposed to patron. Vitality's okay, so let's see if we can get more money. 14, back up to 14 when it comes to cash. Another one of these. Health. Oh yeah, it all this adds up. You gotta be on the ball, especially if you're doing this fast forward. We got another dread coming up. Aha, we passed the intuition challenge. Another restlessness. Do we get drunk? Do we just let this go? Do we paint it out and lose our job? Decisions. Probably just gonna let it go. Alright, illumination. You could use a fascination or a library. We're going to look up somebody else's craziness rather than using our own. Ms. Rose, one of my favorites, by the way. Sly miss and recognize you as someone uncommon. By the way, one of the other ones you can get is her brother, Victor. We'll get him eventually, but right now, she's our first edge one. Then the edge companions are your fighters, your killers, your assassins. All right, so yeah, we're going to pass the illumination one. There's dread, which means we definitely need to get this up and running, but not right away. Dread trap will activate. Rose is now a level 2 edge. We'll get her up when we finally get to more lore, but we can't do that. Okay, we have to do something about this. It's too much dread already. Okay, so get drunk. Because that's more reliable than the club. Although it can make us sick or crazy sometimes. Alright, so boom. You're looking at the lights. We finally got it, and we'll have the level 8 moth very shortly. Contentment. Go ahead and take it. You want me to do overtime. Damn you all. And there we go. Another freaking restlessness. Oh my god, I'm just gonna have to get, like, stinking drunk. I can't deal with this. Level 8. Mollywarp piece her crown and her moss and her feet in the dirt and a tree's locked tight. Mollywarp has these warnings for you. Level 8 moth. And we need again another illumination, library, and glimmering if we were to try to advance this beyond level 8, which puts it here. Library goes back into place. Okay, so that is my lesson number 3, which is how to win friends and influence. Ha, that's going to be the title. It's actually the name of an old book about how to use manners to attract other people. Gods, it's been so long, I've forgotten that existed. In any case, yes, how to win friends and influence. So what's going to happen is when I come back, I will have all of my companions maxed out to where I can have them, which will be the forged ones like Valerie at level 5 and everybody else at level 2 plus 7 pawns. That'll take some time. You don't have to watch me do this. We're, oh my God, almost at an hour already. So yeah, that's where we're going to be. Nice. So I will continue burning away. Now, if I happen to kill Mr. Alden when I have the possibility, or seduce him, or get him, or set him on fire, or he just drops dead of a heart attack, which is an option here. Not really, he retires, but I like to think of him dropping dead of a heart attack. Then that will move us on to higher levels of that, and I will mention it or show it to you in the next episode. In the meantime, yes, we have done our first bad deed. We have sacrificed a loyal friend to Poppy, to an insane rich necromancer for money and a favor. So you can hate me for this at this point, but I am now a villain in this game. Everything I've done up to this point, notice the notoriety tag came up, has been essentially questionable. Nothing illegal, but the idea of delving into dark lore and doing about it, technically, your character could spend their entire time just writing about lore in books and such. That what the commissions are about, but that will never get you where you want to. You have that restless desire to reforge yourself with the power of the forge, ironically, and become something greater, immortal, powerful, worshipped, or you could be a clerk. Which one would you pick? Anyways, this has been Fantastic Worlds, saying farewell from Lovecraft Country and Cultist Simulator Tips and Tricks. If you like this, like, share, and subscribe. And if you really like it, down below are links to the Gumroad payment platform. You can help promote this channel. Maybe start Tips and Tricks as a more regular series as opposed to something I just do in between, because we're probably going to get 3 episodes in, maybe 4, before I start Lust from Beyond, which is the unlock we had at 200 subscribers. And speaking of, we will have a 250 subscriber, and I'm actually considering unlock, and in 225 if you're doing Secret World. I didn't think I was doing a live version of this for streaming. I haven't done streaming in such a long time. I tried it as an experiment a couple of times, didn't really have the tech for it, but I do now, and it kind of makes me wonder if you guys would be interested in watching me doing one of these more Lovecraftian strategy / actionish games in live, with, of course, the occasional, with me snarking real time and in chat. You can see what I'm like when I don't have access to edit functions. Trust me, sometimes it's better I do have access to edit functions. But in the meantime, I will see you next time.